he'll lynch you. But he did, and he laughs.
Hi everybody, Ross on the West Ham Network. Hope you are all safe and well. If you're new, Andy, give it a like, give it a comment, give it a share, give it a subscribe. We had to change. We were going to do today. We was going to do like Have You Say Friday, but then obviously reports literally in about the last couple of hours have shown this image. This image has been doing the rounds of Broja leaving the Chelsea training session. Obviously, he's in America at the moment with a protective boot on his foot, on his left foot there. I can figure that out. And crutches. You can just see he's holding a pair of crutches as well. So does that mean that, well, does that mean we go all out for Scamacca? Or what did Darish call him? He called him Scamacca. Anyway, let's find out. Let's talk about it. So, obviously, looks like Broja's injured. And obviously, he can't impress too much with a boot on his left foot, can he? Well, with boots on, obviously, but like, a protective boot, not a football boot, I meant. So what does that mean for our transfer plans? You know, obviously, by all accounts, it was Broja or Scamacca, or Scamacca, as Damesh calls him. So do we go all out for Scamacca? Now reports come out that Juventus apparently are entering the fray to sign the Italian international. So what's going to happen? I'll tell you what, there's never a dull moment at West Ham, innit? There's never a dull moment at all. Let's see, we've got the chat quickly. We've got Mustard Man, good morning to you, sir. Mark's hit there, Hammer's there, Helen's in, hope you're well, ladders. Not too hot for you, Mark's there. Oh dear, that Broja picture doesn't look good. Should ask for a discount. Maybe we should. 50% off, one leg get one leg off. Broja now available at 30% discount. At least Broja got injured before we signed him. Indeed, yeah. Gazza, good evening, good afternoon. Jan's in, Ralph's here, Brian's here. Oh, everyone's keep washing those hands and fires. Indeed. Alan, evening from Australia. Hope you're well. This is a scam they do not want to sell. Paul's got it. Paul's figured it out. Paul has done his best Sherlock, and it's all a scam because they never want to sell him to us. Whatever. We've made a bit of fault. Apparently we have. That's including add-ons. I think. I think Gazza, obviously the CEO of Sassuolo. That's how you pronounce it, isn't it? Sassuolo. He's made it very clear that West Ham have put a bid in for him. So, you know, he's confirmed, it was on, I think it was Nees at Mumber Brown on their website. They said that Giovanni Caneleva, who is the CEO of Sassuolo, has confirmed that the Serie A club have received an offer from West Ham for Scamacca. Speaking to Sky Sports Italia on Thursday evening, he revealed the club had received two offers, but West Ham was by far the largest. By all accounts, Paris Saint-Germain have no sort of desire to go above and beyond what they were willing to pay, which is around, I think, about 30 million euro. And I think we've put in 45 million euro, which is about 40 million quid all in. So we'll see what happens. PSG have got other irons in the fire. Hugo Ekiteke, who we've been linked to, who was going to go to Newcastle as well. They're looking at him as well as a potential. So it's... There's never a dull moment. Freya, you're well, my friend. Keith's there. Broja must have gone when he got it when he stepped off the plane. Indeed. Well, sometimes you've got to keep stretching, don't you? The old deep vein thrombosis, and it's a long flight to America. Marcus, the Scamacca could go through. Indeed, the 40 million is the estimated amount. One Italian journalist has said it's all done and dusted. I think X has come out and said I think they've jumped the gun. So what? They're still in talks, but this may well have this sort of incident may well have exacerbated and accelerated discussions with Sassuolo for the player. Is that grey or yellow in your beard? Grey. grey. But it's these lights sometimes a bit funny, but it is grey. David Oyo hammers indeed. Monsters Factory's here. Scamacca's Club looking for a bidding war. Potentially, maybe. I mean, coming out and saying that is quite... I mean, they've said that they don't have to sell him. And yeah, it could be a clever play. I mean, as I said, I think Juventus are looking at jumping in there. Apparently Scar, based on reports we've heard, that he was a bit unsure, but his head has been turned about the playing in the Premier League, and obviously he's not going to be going to Qatar, so it's not like he's got the World Cup to look at and stay within the country to try and get into the squad because the Italians haven't qualified. What a shame. Razors here at Royal Thunder and Joy. It's 15 million then, indeed, half price. It's going to be absolutely bought. It's going to be bought in Monday and Tuesday as well. I was looking at the weather and it's like 30, 38, 39 in Hornchurch. Bought myself a new fan. It's got a mist button. Really. Look, you see? Oh, there we go. Anyway, I'll turn it off now. Richard, hi there from South Africa. Sadadika, hope you're well, my friend. God, there's loads of people in there. Anyone else feel that Scamacca deal is a front to put pressure on Chelsea to do that? I think it may have been to start with, and I mean Anton said that as well. But he's only got 1 foot now, so who knows? Greeno, hope you're well. Just seen, who has been offered. He has 10 million a year to play in Saudi Arabia, Mr. J Lings. And obviously Ronaldo was offered, wasn't he? Wasn't he offered something ridiculous like, was it £300 million for 2-year contract or something ridiculous like that? We'll end up buying Diaz from Blackburn. Well, I mean, 12 million quid, I think. It wouldn't be a bad sort of backup, but I don't think it'd be the first choice. Not for me at all. No Onana news at the moment. Onana, what's his name? No news at all. Interesting CEO, but also suggesting no requirement to sell. Indeed. Right, I'm just going to zoom through. In my opinion, Scamacca isn't really worth 40 million right now. Well, I think it's 40 million as a package with add-ons. I don't know how much is up front, probably about 35 million up front, with the rest being add-ons. I think 30 million, 35 is not bad. I mean, he's a fall into that Italian international. Had a hell of a season for Serie A last year. And 23, loads of potential. But yeah, can we have Andy Carroll back? Indeed. Some rumours they certainly are. Just mentioned them. Surely he would go to Juventus. Well, Serie A's a strange thing, isn't it? It's like there's so much movement between the big clubs and each other, isn't there? So you don't tend to get a lot of particularly Italian internationals, move out of Serie A. They tend to stay and move from club to club. So I mean, you look at someone like Giovanni Simeone, for example. Obviously Argentinian international, but he was on loan from Bologna to Hellas Verona, and they're sort of moving, and it seems to just move these parts around, like Dybala's. Although Chelsea talk about him, I think Inter Milan were looking at him, and so the chances they're going to stay around in Italy. Very rare that a player goes, particularly a young player. I mean, Scamacca's only 23, so we'll see what happens. I'm not convinced. I've been known to be wrong before. Yeah, indeed, I was convinced before, but we'll see. Russ, you'll be doing shows on paddling pools full of ice next week. Well, yeah. Probably so. Love the heat and just been offered a groundkeeping job. Congratulations, Mark. Great news. Hope Obiang has been giving a good report. Indeed, obviously Obiang back in training as well. We're trying to get Pedro on the channel actually. I'd love to chat to him. So we'll see. He wouldn't be 100% starter as they have Vlahovic. Yeah, they've just signed him, haven't they, from Fiorentina? That's what I mean. Moving around the place. They'll be moving around sort of various clubs in Serie A. They don't tend to move outside. Scamacca is a younger Italian with less pace. I'll take that. Been 38 degrees here since mid-May with no rain. Oh, jeez. Jake, what are you doing? Have you broken up from school already? Is school finished already for you? Fair play. Belotti is still available. I think he was in talks with Monaco. And then Monaco were looking at maybe moving out Ben Yedder. But they've also put a bid in for Embolo, isn't it? The guy from the Switzerland international, Swiss international from Borussia Mönchengladbach. So yeah, we'll see what happens. Let's just move down here a little bit. Transfer rooms are stale. Can we move on to some more pressing matters like ratings, players' wives? Unbelievable. Andy's in it. Mandy, hope you're well. Moyes needs to wake up. Too much pissing about. Get someone now or go. Paul, you are always so angry. Fair play. I understand. But yeah, it's the wake up or go. Oh dear. But the trouble is, Paul, I think the frustrating thing is we see all these players we're linked to. I've done my new list. 126 players we're linked to. But we have not, I guarantee we have not made 126 bids for players. A lot of it is, I reckon 95% is player talk and agent talk, and just people like the News of the World, the Sun, and various others. That again, everything's sort of very, very sort of just, this guy should go to this place. There's no concrete evidence that person's going to go, and I think that frustrates people a little bit. I mean, if you look at lots of deals around other clubs, yeah, some have done a lot more business than others, but I think a lot of the stuff we don't know about is going under the radar, and I really don't think half the stuff we know about. Someone like the Downs, Flynn Downs, came out of nowhere. In all honesty, innit? Mark Warburton, we've seen these things go completely under the radar, and I think, yeah. If people want to, I think that whole thing with Flynn Downs shows that he's not really divvying Dave all the time. Do you know what I mean? School finished 12:30. School's out for the summer for Jakey boy. Nice to see. Is Wolverton looking to change the way we play? Reason why we're looking for Scamacca? I don't know. I mean, he has said that he wants to bring in a bit more of a attacking style. That's the style he's used to. We're trying to get hopefully get a ex-player of Mark's on the channel soon, to talk about him as a player, as a what he would bring to West Ham, because obviously we only know what we've read, but actually he's somebody who's actually coached. He's been coached by Mark, so we'll hopefully bring him on soon. So that'll be interesting. Rumour, yes, yeah, and out of it, yeah, Juventus looking at maybe Scamacca, but the original Scamacca, who was Arnautovic, which is very strange. Can Scamacca play right back? I think left back, maybe, to be honest. Says he loves to help out all over the pitch. Nice to see. Good afternoon, Tim. Hope you're well. Left back room. Pete, tonight, Hammer's headlines. 3 left back rumours. It's a left back transfer special, and it's just for you. So there we go. Keep an eye out for that. It's gonna be fun. Arnautovic has gone to Juventus. Might be going to Juventus. Cesc Fabregas has joined. He's joined. Is it Como who's joined from Monaco, which is fair play. Rom's always going to go. I don't think it's going to go away. Can we get Payet back for one season, please? Rami's being linked to Man City. Well, I think also, with the whole Zinchenko thing, I think there's a spot there, potentially, for a left-back. How dare you? These rumours are very reputable, very poor. Indeed, I do apologise, Luke. We need to put a bit of pressure on the rice-shaped... We need to be putting a bit of rice-shaped pressure on Chelsea. Read Broja. But, David, would you want Broja? Look... Would you want Broja? He's damaged goods. This came out yesterday, and this is why we changed the whole bloody show, because I thought we need to talk about this. He's injured. Look, he's got a boot and he's got crutches. He's got. You see him there. And obviously that's from his training. He's drinking a drink. There we go. So we'll say, take it, Rice Aguerd. We'll get some game time tomorrow. Who knows, Peter? Actually, obviously got Reading tomorrow. I don't know really. It might be. Although I was going to say a bit early for when Flynn Downs came in, but then he played the next day, didn't he? When he came in, so obviously I imagine he was doing some pre-season stuff at Swansea as well. So maybe. Right, well, we've got good day, Kieran. I hope you're well. Just to let you know, my son is trialling at Portsmouth. Good luck to your son. Tim, you've got Terrell. All the T's. And my mate's called Tom Taylor. He's got his TT as well. Still try for Broja at a lower price. I don't know, James. Would you want to... But come on. We moan about about injured players. This is like... Do you remember Scott Mean? You might not. I don't know, James, if you remember Scott Mean or not. But we bought him and he'd broken his leg, but when we bought him, never played for us, really. We Andy Carroll. Do we want to buy someone who's literally just got injured? I don't think so, personally, but we'll see. Why don't we go for Watkins instead of spending 40 million? Why don't we sign Harvey Barnes, left wing? Great shout, yeah. Man City will get Cucurella from Brighton. Obviously, Catalanian left back, and obviously Pep is Catalanian as well. So there's that sort of non-symmetry. I don't know what word I'm saying. Sky Sports state the bid has neither been accepted. Well, there we go. We don't know. We don't know what's going on, Marcus. I mean, some people said, as I said, we had the Sky. What was it? Where was the article? There was an article saying that he was, I think 90 Minutes said it about an hour ago as well, that, in principle, the deal's been agreed, and Sky Sports say no, and X says no, it's too early, we're still talking. 90 Minutes, 90 Minutes agree, as West Ham have agreed a deal in principle for the Sassuolo striker Gianluca Scamacca. But we don't know. We don't know, do we? We don't know. You know what I mean? Fits straight into the West Ham way. We've got a striker who's got hamstrings of jelly, so we might as well just add to another one. Why not? Why not? They can't both be injured, surely, at the same time. We should play Brighton pre-season and field a strong team so we can wallop them and remove the jinx. Yeah, but it's the Premier League, don't matter. Take Broja on loan and pay as you play deal. Yeah, I'm sure Chelsea will let us do that. Sky Sports is crap. They know nothing, says Paul. By the way, very nice interview. Thank you, Freeman. If you haven't seen it, we interviewed Igor Stimac earlier this week on Wednesday night. Check it out. Lovely interview. And also coming up this weekend, actually talking about strikers, we should have another video from Harry, another striker video from Harry. So that will come out over this weekend. And also Sunday or Saturday, depends when Harry's, probably Sunday, we'll have another episode of Hammers in Hot Water, talking about a funny incident, not funny incident, but an incident in West Ham sort of modern history, the Manny-gate incidents, talking about Manny on a Minimi. We've been speaking about Margas, we've been speaking about loads of people recently on these Hammers in Hot Waters, Savio, Boogers, Darney, and now we're going to talk about Manny, and that's come out of one of you guys wanted me to do it, so that's then. So if you have any suggestions, put them in the comments of all these videos, and we'll try and get them on. Next one after that, I think it's going to be Flory Madachoy as well, so good fun. What we got here is, I don't know, I don't think he's leaving, so I think it's going to cost us just as much. I can't just see come out. So sorry to say, says James. He's not actually injured. It was an impact thing, and he's apparently fine. Well, an impact injury, but you walk away with a boot. I don't know, mate. I don't know. Scamacca, 40 million, and Broja, 35 down to 25 now. There you go. Dodgy wing. He's done. What about City's left back, Zinchenko? We're going to talk about Zinchenko at 5 o'clock tonight. We still apparently have a hope in signing him. I think it sounds like it's a bit of a straight shootout between us and Arsenal again, which, for me, shows you how far we've come, really, because Arsenal are Arsenal, and I know Arsenal aren't the force they were, but for us and them to be competing with the likes of, there's Yuri Tielemans as well, Zinchenko, these are big names that we're being linked with. But again, are we linked? Are we actually, or are we just being linked with them? Or are we actually going to be bidding for them? That's the question. One-leg striker is definitely right up our street, Kieran. We know it. We've seen it before. After the striker, a left wing must be the place to look after. Desperately need pace. Left wing or left back? Left wing or left back, Mark? That's the question. I would say left back. Honestly, I think we need, but we'll see. Most probably end up with Rondon. I think he's out of contract. I think. There we go. Thank you, Sharky. Appreciate that. Russ, what about the youngster Lingard? The youngster Lingard. He's available. Apparently, he's available on a free. But apparently, he's going to go to the Saudi Arabian club has offered him ridiculous money to play £10 million a season in it for a season. Obviously, Yarmo's out there now, isn't he? Oh, Yarmo's out there for Al Ain, which is, I believe that's Sergei Rebrov's team. So it makes sense why he's there. It's not that random as well. So I believe that's the team he manages. I'm still secretly hoping Moyes waiting to see Bassey in action next week before moving for him. Of course, Calvin Bassey. Some teams are sniffing around for him. I think Ajax looking for him as well, but I think Ajax just signed Window, so why they want him as well, I don't know. But as I was saying to Anton, these are names, I mean, everyone was like, oh, he should have signed Hickey. But what accounts, Moyes didn't fancy him. And he scouted him and didn't fancy him. So we don't know about Bassi either. He's a London, well, technically he's a Newham boy, isn't he? So we'll see. Scamacca, he reminds me, screams Haller vibes. Unless we play to his skills, he isn't going to be a success. There we go. Mannygate was so bloody annoying indeed. And so you can relive all that fun. And it's brilliant. When I sort of going and learning more about that Mannygate, honestly, that the game that he played, he was on the fucking front cover of the programme as well. So he wasn't even subtle about it. Russ, hope you're well. Would like to see Broja or Scamacca. Also read about Gabigol. Yeah, we spoke about Gabigol yesterday. But as I said, we'll see what happens, because now if the talk of him in his boot, this came out yesterday, I believe. It's yes, strange one. Does it mean we go all out for Scamacca? Does it make sense why everything happened yesterday in terms of us putting a concrete bid or whatever? Don't know. Right, what we got here? Sorry, I missed a few places. Sorry. Let me go back. Thank you very much. He actually runs, apparently. There we go. Afternoon, Adam. Hope you're well. GP's in the house. Good evening, GP. Russ, do you wear that? Did you see that picture of Everton players wearing all full clothes? No, I haven't. What rating out of 10 would you give the Scamacca transfer, Mandy? In terms of rumour rating, 6 out of 10. 6 out of 10. I'll give it a there we go. Don't see it as a Moyes player. Find it strange. But then maybe, Kieran, thinking about the whole Rob Newman thing and Warburton stuff, maybe it's a turning point. I don't know. It's like there's certain players we've been linked to. We talk about that. I mean, as I said, at 5 o'clock tonight, we talk about 3 left backs. One of them is a David Moyes player. And he's a player that I think we'd go, oh, fucking really, get him. But actually, I think when you look beyond it, not a bad signing. But some players like, Scamacca, as you said, he might, for me on paper, he said he's got Arnautovic vibes. Don't forget, Moisey was the one who converted him. In terms of Arnautovic, from in essence, a right winger, really, where he was floundering under Bilic, to a forward, and just saying, look, you're a nasty bastard. He got the best out of Arnautovic. So I think some players need that, and I think he's got that man management to be able to do that. And Scamacca, he's got those sort of vibes, and maybe it's just because he's got tattoos. But apparently his first tattoo was like 14 or something like that. And then apparently he got chucked out of the Italian under-19 training camp once. Him and Moyes Keane were playing pranks and everyone. They chucked him out. But anyway, we'll see. I don't know. I mean, I in Moyes we trust, as I always say. And Paul will shout at me for trusting in Moyes because he's different David. But I do. And that's my opinion, same as Paul has his own opinion. So there we go. Scamacca is twice as good as Broja. There we go, Mark. Mark said it. Is that Ake transfer? Is that the transfer of Nathan Ake to Chelsea? Quite possibly. Totally see Scamacca as a Moyes player. See, so everyone's totally different. Everyone's talking to each other. Our Hammer's linked to Lingard. I think we've we've looked at Jesse Lingard. I think it's got big. I haven't really heard much about that. PSG, they are in for Scamacca, but by all accounts, they're not going to go to 30 odd million. I think Matt's going needs 30 million euros. They're not going to pay the full whack that Scamacca that Sassuolo are looking for Scamacca. Forget Zinchenko. Let's the Gooners have him. I think that's a bit of spell check. As Grimaldi is far better, but they were looking at him as well, weren't they? And I think with Zinchenko, I think they would offer him the midfield role, and potentially covering Tierney, where I think we'd come in and he'd be like, well, you're a left back, but you can play centre midfield if we need it. He does command 2 positions, which is really useful, and 2 positions we need to strengthen as well. And if it means we can get him in and then keep maybe Cress for another season, and then there's reports about Longhello going again. He was like, it's like the hokey cokey. He's in, he's out, he's in, he's out. He shakes it all about. And then he put something on Instagram. I said Longhello where he'd got injured or something. I don't know. There's so much going on. Glad we aren't signing. Well, I think the decision's been made in the next week where he's going to go. So we'll see. Rooney has apparently offered Jesse a spot at his American club. He's taking over as manager. Apparently so. But I don't know if he'd fancy Washington. Do you know what I mean? I've said if he goes to MLS, he'll either go one coast or the other. It'll be Miami or LA. Washington is can't really see it being a Jesse place, in my opinion. Everyone's talking to each other. Let's go down to the bottom. Papa, I hope you're well, my friend. When will you get Pat Sharp on? I don't think he supports West Ham. Moyes is a cunning plan. Rather get the right players other than just someone you don't want to be in the club. Hit the like button. We are massive. We certainly are, Lee. We certainly are. What have I missed? What have you missed? Well, you've missed this picture, Papa. This picture's emerged of Broja. I've got to have to put his fan on. I'm bloody hot. I'm going to miss it as well. I'm going to miss it. This picture came out today, which would have been from yesterday, because it's their American tour, and they're on the West Coast at the moment. So I think they're on the West Coast at the moment, of Broja being injured. So what's that going to do? What's that going to do? Does it mean that we're going to have to go all out for? I can't do that. It's gone all misty on my thing. We're going to go all out for Scamacca now, particularly with, the CEO of South Suso saying that West Ham have had a bid. They've had two bids, PSG and West Ham, but West Ham is by far the biggest one. As I said, if you're new around here, give it a like, give it a comment, give it a share, give it a subscribe. We're on every day with a daily show. Hammer's headlines at 5 o'clock as well as interviews and explains. We've got some good ones lined up, so make sure you hit the bell notifications. You don't miss them. And some good celebrity guests as well. Right, what we've got here. Into Miami. So probably go there. We could agree a deal for Scamacca, but we're down to Moyes. We sign him. Now Moyes makes a final decision. He certainly does. Will we go back for the Kitty? No, because I think he'll end up going to PSG by all accounts. That's what's been said so far. No SAR news at the moment, apart from that, the agent he's signed for is Wasserman, which is Mark Warburton's daughter works for. That's it. That's literally the only new stuff. But I think X said something that we were looking at him, but we'll see what happens. Scamacca averages a goal. He does. This is the stat. This is the stat that they've been going around Twitter. Scamacca, or Scamacca, I'm going to call him, averages a goal every 146 minutes in league games over the last 2 seasons. Only Salah and Jota have scored more frequently. There we go. Will we all say no to or Gabigol, but if they wore the shirt, we'll be happy? Kenny, I totally agree. You give him a chance, innit? We all said no to Craig Dawson, didn't we? Let's be honest. I'll be surprised if there's more than one person who, when we said we're signing Craig Dawson, went, brilliant! So we all said no to him, and then, he became a bit of a cult hero. I said cult hero, so we'll see. Right, everyone's talking to each other. We'll now want to sell Broja just where he's injured. Indeed. You're right. You're right, WHU Life. For life, signing Scamacca would show ambition, and it would show another dimension to our buys. Buying someone who's 23, huge potential, Italian international, as Fresh Fielder says, only Salah and Jota scored more goals per minute on the pitch last season. In the Premier League, if you took like for like, and I appreciate it's Serie A and stuff like that, but still, it shows he's scoring. He's I think it shows real intent, but also it'd be interesting to see how it all works. We were like today. I had planned to do a little show today about who I thought was going to start for West Ham against Man City. I was going to put my starting 11 together. And then this came up, and I thought, actually, I think this is a bit more interesting than my opinions. But you're totally right. Diaz for 15 would be a great signing. Yeah, I think Diaz for 12 to 15, not as our number one, not as our striker, but as backup, or maybe it means that you can move people around. It gives options. I wouldn't say it's a bad thing. I mean, what does, as I said, Bowen was 17 million for a Championship player. You had Lewis Potter went to Brentford for, was it 16 plus 4? So not a bad deal, I suppose. Signing a tea lady shows ambition. Well, they don't need to, because he got the coffee machine, didn't they? That's what, when Danny Kudrinski came in, he bought them all a coffee machine. Do you remember when David Moyes said that he bought a lovely new coffee machine? Doesn't need a tea lady now. It's progress, Fresh. It's progress. That's a protective nail polish boot. There we go. Fair enough. Did you see Aguero and Dex? Shows what a great group we have. I mean, if anyone if anyone thinks that Deck's not happy, he's going to leave. If anyone wants a bit of cheering up, go and watch that video the club put out on Twitter of Dex turning up to training first day, bouncing into. It's like, first day at school. He looked fantastic. Couldn't stop laughing when we signed Dawson. I was so happy. There we go. Whatever, Kieran. We're not going. Why are we not going for Dennis, who has proven Premier League experience? Maybe we are. I mean, as I said, Watford have already signed a striker. I signed a striker about 10 days ago. I mean, there's hundreds. As you said, there's literally hundreds. Let me show you. Where's my screen? I'll show you my screen. I've just finished it. Let me just do this. Let me share it. Let me download that. I'll show you my screen of my. I might have even downloaded it. Have I downloaded it? No, I'll put this up. So, in terms of all the players we've been linked to, it's like, even like some of them, I reckon the vast majority we haven't been linked to, in all honesty, but we'll see. Cult fiction indeed. Needs to show some ambition, if any chance to keep him Dex. No, not the bloody statement of intent indeed. Get skill in, get us Europe, maybe Dex will see us good signings. Well, I think it's progress. I think, Dex is realistic as well. I mean, we're never going to win the Premier League, let's be honest. As much as every day, every week, every season we turn up thinking we're never going to win the Premier League. There's only like 3 teams who are going to win the Premier League, maybe 4. But we're in that sort of second group, aren't we? We're in that sort of, I'd say, Europa League, Conference, maybe, that 4th spot, Champions League spot, if we get a good run in. And that shows progress from being bottom and just about scraping the Premier League, staying in the Premier League, and then sort of mid-table obscurity. And then, so there's about 4 or 5 different leagues, and we've definitely moved up. And now we're in this sort of tier 2 in the Premier League. So I think there's realism. I mean, there's the list. I've had to make all the things a bit smaller now because I couldn't get them all in. 126 players we've been linked with, which is an incredible amount, obviously. And we've signed 4 of them. So, that's 4%, not even 4%, about 2.8, something like that, 2.7%. So I guarantee we have not put a bid in for all these players. And I think a lot of this stuff these guys get scouted and they get sort of discounted. Scouted and then discounted. Very good. And I think it's frustrating. I can see there's frustration, but for me, it's like, I love it. I do love it. I love it. It always gives me something to talk about. You probably read, but apparently so, but X says no. So we'll see. We don't know. In Moyes, we do trust. Just useless. I love you, Paul. What are you going to be like when it's really hot on Monday? Jesus. Now Tuesday you can't test the water. No testing to see if he can fill the void left by Lukaku. They never really had a void. Lukaku didn't play with much, did he? He didn't play at all, really. He was very much. He would play. Sort of. Havertz. They always play a false 9. So talking to my Chelsea friends, they were surprised that they thought it'd even bring Broja to look at him because he doesn't really sort of fit their system. So that is what it is. Who's Diaz? Well, we got is Brenton Diaz, and there's also Diaz, who's I think still at Real Madrid. Who we were looking at as well as a striker. New song, Scamacca is good for your Aka. Scamacca is good for my Aka. He wouldn't be the first player to pretend to be injured to force a move. I don't think he's pretending to be injured. I don't think so. I think he's generally he might, and it could easily be an impact injury, but there we go. Right, what we got here? Rice is staying one more season, not more sell, just a trench coat loser. Was that Lynch pinch from Moyes in a metal? Yeah, in a crate. Yeah, it did. Yeah, it was. I've nicked it from David Moyes. There we go. We have moved up by suggest luck, not board or Moyes design. No, I think. I know what you mean. I think it was something that Stimac said actually in the interview we did on Wednesday night, where he was saying, "Don't be surprised where West Ham are. They've got good players and a good manager. We shouldn't be surprised as a fan base of where we are." And I agree. I agree to some extent. I know I can. Don't forget during lockdown, obviously we're having the games behind closed doors. I saw what a team spirit that was. What a team, togetherness. The sum of the parts, the sum of the parts is greater than the individuals, and that's very true of West Ham. On paper we've got a good side. I don't think we've got like a championship, a Champions League winning, a Champions League, qualifying 1 to 11 on paper. But as a team, we've got a really good team spirit, and that makes a huge difference. And that's why I think Moyes takes so long to pick the right players, because he'd almost like take this piece out and put another piece in rather than the piece which doesn't fit. So that's why it might seem he's taking a long time. I just think he wants to put the right people in for the right system. There we go. Any news on Suchet? No news. Apparently people like him. He's not going anywhere, and next time you read that someone's going to put a bid in for him. So we don't know. If we finish 17th, that we do. We won't finish 17th. If you're not first or fourth, and sometimes 5th and 6th, you're last. Ricky Bobby, there we go. Need save. Key signings done a week before the kickoff. No last minute nonsense. That's what I think now. That's why it was quite interesting to put. I was going to put my sort of starting 11 for City, and it wasn't a million miles away from the end of the season, to be honest. Because actually, I think there's a few positions. So, centre back position, for example. Clearly, we know. I'd say Agad will start alongside Zuma. That's the way I see it. But then Ogbonna is playing in training. He's on fire, and so that's great. It gives managers problems. But obviously, spending £30 million on Agad, he's going to imagine he would be starting, and he should do, because that's the future really. But you look around the rest of the team, and there's not really any sort of. And Alese has joined Sunderland on a permanent basis. What? Alese's joined Sunderland on a permanent basis. We've just sold Alese. Really? Wow. Let me send that to Anton. He'll be absolutely devastated. That's a weird one, isn't it? Very weird. Scamacca will be out for a few. He's getting a neck elongation to get more. Anyway, let's go for it. Let's go right to the bottom. Alese's not going to start, is he? We just sold him to Sunderland. Wow. Bollocks! They're pulling your leg, Russ. Yeah, well, apparently so. Wow. Yeah, it's true. No, he's not true. He is so. Yeah, he's gone. Weird. What's X? Is this? Who said this? So I think X has said about. I think this must be X saying that about a Broja injury. It could be. We were told it could be precautionary, but it means that we don't know the true severity of it. So we don't know. That's a really weird one. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Anton's what the FT. I know. How weird's that? That's a really strange one. Yeah, he's gone. Well, I mean, looking at it realistically, is that? I mean, yesterday, for example, there was talk of there was talk of Diop to Fulham being pulled. Diop to Fulham was being pulled. Moisey halted it, and people said maybe it's because he was getting more money. Possibly. It means that maybe, I mean, to be honest, Alese was sixth choice centre-back, really, wasn't he? Maybe he did want to go. Maybe he did want to go. You're totally right. Maybe that's why the Diop deal didn't happen. They could be right. I mean, it's a fair play, good move for him. But yeah, the permanent deal is a strange one. I mean, this would have been his breakthrough year this year. It could have been, but then he's not going to outplace Zuma. He's not going to outplace all these players in front of him, really. So, yeah, I told you you weren't good enough. No, yeah, I was the same. Anthony's devastated on the WhatsApp group. Alese looked like the natural replacement for Oggy. I don't think he, honestly, David, I don't think he would have been. I think Aged basically was going to be the natural replacement for Oggy. Indeed, how's that for live? Indeed. Let's we'll do a little banner, shall we? Do a little banner. Alese to Sunderland permanently. Permanent deal. On a 3-year deal. Well, there we go. I might even let's do it. Should we do it like Sky Sports? Let's do it like Sky Sports. There you go. Alese to wow. Well, there we go. Yeah, you're totally right. You can't keep everyone. And actually, I think for me, it's, and we've got, we know we've got Baptiste as well, and he's younger. You think you're looking at the ages. I mean, Aged's 26, something like that. Zuma's the same. So realistically, Alese's not going to get in front of them for the next 5 years, realistically. Now, next season is different. The season after that is different because Oggy will be out of contract. He's a 1-year extension, and then also what's his face, and then Craig Dawson. So yeah, maybe he's one of those players. It's very reminiscent of Diangana. We sold Diangana, but actually when you looked at it, and actually Diangana had a lot more game time in pre-season, but you look at it, it's like, it's a strange one. It's not strange. I think I can understand it, but it's the permanent thing. If I would have left ages ago. Hope you have a sell-on clause on that. Indeed, I give up. Sixth choice. They're getting older. You're totally right. Yeah, you're totally right. It's a strange one. But fair play to him. He can move on, and good luck to him. As I said, it may mean that obviously Diop's hanging around. And there were talks of us looking at the lad from Hertha Berlin for 4 million, Jordan Gear, a long word. Maybe a case of bringing him in, maybe, and then and bringing him on an undisclosed fee from Sunderland. Imagine $1 million, $2 million, maybe. I don't know how much it'll be. I'm sure X will let us know when he finds out. But yeah, very strange. But anyway, hope for him all the best. Although we know we've had a few West Ham players have gone to Sunderland and haven't done so well. And a few out. Yeah, I mean, Anton Ferdinand went back there as well. And we've had George McCartney on, and Clive Clark, and various others. I hope there is a buyback clause, but we never know. We need to get Jonathan David. I'm going to go and shout some ducks at the local park. Very good. Gutted for the Alese news. I think we are as fans because we want to see the youngsters play well. But as we said, and as we said to Igor, Wenger was saying, he used to get pressure to play the Arsenal academy players, but actually he wasn't, he had to win games, and there was times last year where Alese could have gone in. Don't forget towards the end of that season, we had several times where we were down to, the bare bones, and he didn't put him in. He put Aaron Cresswell left back in the back two. Do you remember, like at the end of the season? So for me, there was never going to be any sort of, what's the word? and you could tell he didn't fancy him. You could tell he didn't fancy him. So that is what it is. It is what it is, and and I think it's yeah. We don't like selling our youth. You're totally right, and I think we're more gutted than maybe, because he's a kid. He's been all the way through the academy, and he's maybe been offered the opportunity. We've interviewed loads of players like that, like Lee Hodges, like Izzy Ikyapen, Adam Newton, all these sort of players who have decided that actually the offer's there to go down a division. And Sunderland, great, obviously they got Alex Neil, the manager. They're really getting some. I mean, we obviously, I know a few Sunderland fans, they'll be happy. But it's the same as like Josh Cullen, and it's the same as people like that. Do you know what I mean? So, and Reece Oxford, just another one of those types of deals, unfortunately. We should have a clause in his contract saying buyback becomes really good. Indeed. But yeah, I mean, it's what it is. Whatever happened to our pursuit, I don't know. Nothing exactly. I don't know. Who wants to play for under 23s? Get Wolfordham from Ipswich. Russ, how much does Sunderland play? 33 million plus add-ons? Yeah, definitely 33 million. Would have liked to see Alese go out on loan. Actually, if we can cut it and come back and be back up next season, but assume Moyes knows what he's doing. Yep. Indeed, same story as Perkins. Yeah, you're totally right. But we get money for Perkins when he goes as well, wherever he goes to because of compensation. I understand, Tim. I do. To be honest, I think you'd rather as I said, we've got a plethora of centre backs now, haven't we? Realistically, you've got Aguerd, you've got Zuma, you've got Dawson, you've got Ogbonna. You've got Ben Johnson can play there. You've got Baptiste. You've got Aaron Cresswell. So as 7, and obviously we're not including Alese now. But Alese has been playing on 23s for a long time. Hasn't really broken into the first team. Arguably isn't going to break into the first team this year either. And maybe for his own development, it's probably worth going. It's probably worth going and playing. I mean, Sunderland are going to pay money for him. He's generally going to go in and compete there. And they're a big club, big exciting for him. Fair play. Good luck to him. I think we'll have the same thing with, I was about to say, Connor Coventry, Josh Cullen, Reece Oxford, Reece Burke. It happens. But it was a bit of a shock. But anyway, we'll get over it. I don't blame him for leaving too. But Josh, he's cutting it now. He wasn't going to cut it. He wasn't going to get in front of the midfield. So he's gone away and played well for himself. Same as, Reece Oxford, he's gone around and is just starting to play some good football. Reece Burke, he's playing well for Luton at the moment. So yeah, I hope Ashby won't get sold. Ashby, I don't want to be sold. I'll be gutted. I know Anton will be gutted that Alese has been sold, but I'll be gutted if we sold him. Why can't the under-23 coach improve? Why hold on to the players for so long? I don't think it's under-23 coaching. We did a whole show about it. Check it out. Where we had like Pat Holland, we had Tim Breaker, we had loads of clips from sort of youth team players who played at West Ham. And I don't think it's about the under-23 coaching. I think it's about the setup. I think the setup doesn't help. You're playing with your peers, your age group, rather than necessarily playing in like the combinations, reserve leagues and stuff. So they don't progress as quickly as maybe they used to. I think that's a big issue as well. We know Moyes wants to put people in at the right time. He put in Meepo at Abeko, do you remember? And that didn't. Look at Alafane for we sold to Bolton. Actually killing it for Bolton. He's killing it for Bolton. I think it's because Alese is like the under-23 captain as well, and it's a bit left field. But we do it all the time. Lots of injuries at right back a couple of seasons ago. Puts Ngake in maybe Moyes just doesn't. Maybe he just thinks centre back's got a really hard position to put players in. I think we were talking to Izzy Ikyapen and he said, we centre backs, young centre backs, end up playing centre midfield because the managers don't like to put them in centre back in the actual position as a youth team player because it's like goalkeepers. You don't see many young goalkeepers in the Premier League. They're all quite established for the exact same reason. Has a bit longer build, will be able to get more games. I think so, definitely this year. Good luck to them, indeed. Good luck to them. Sunderland, a big club, huge club, and they're getting with Alex Neil on board. They really sort of obviously got promoted as well. So championship team now. Fair play. X has said apparently he wasn't rated by the club as much as the fans were. Hence why when we had injuries he didn't feature. Hope he kicks on and has a good career. That's exactly what we said. And you have to pay a $5 for it, innit? We just said it. Baptiste is only 18, almost. Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. He's the next one. We are putting in big offers. Won't be surprised if Sudley decides he was happy with Souček. Yeah, maybe. I think Chester's will get more opportunities than Okaflex this year. Maybe. What I do like is it's a second transfer that's been completely under the radar and should be. You're totally right. It's the second. We sold him, and it was like, really? What? No ITK's come out with that at all, so it's all absolute bollocks as well. He's not destroying the academy, at all. I think what he's doing is it then frees up a spot for someone to come in from the 18s and progress, and it's about progression. And as I said, it means Baptiste now takes over as sort of the main centre back really there now. I mean, they've got so many good players in the under-23 squad, so. It's a strange one, but as you said, good move for his career. I think it's a great move for his career. And he's not going to League One or League. He's going to a Championship side. Could be playing the Premier League in 2 seasons' time. Maybe you never know. If we get Scamacca, maybe that's what it is. Maybe we'll get Scamacca by the end of the day. So we got a 1 in, 1 out. There we go. Who knows? Hope you're well. How much time does spend observing? Moisey is all the time. Moisey is very much. Switched on with the under-23 squad and the under-18s, and so are the kids as well. In terms of the kids, but like Deck and Nobes was as well, and Ben Johnson. So they do keep an eye on. He doesn't ignore the academy. No, he doesn't. But it's the way. But it's progressing them, and I don't think you progress them as quickly as you did with this under-23 setup. In my humble opinion, and what that's worth. I think Ashby's good enough. Connor Coventry, jury's out for me. And I think we always put a good play. I think when we put a youth team player, we always give them a plus 10 score because they're from the youth team. I don't think Connor Coventry is. I think we can get better than Connor Coventry. I think Ashby, there's enough potential I've seen in Ashby to be a top right back for us. Good team in the Championship. Hopefully he gets a lot of game time. Totally too. Ashby does. We exercised the option, and I think he'll get some game time this season for sure. More to the point, it allows Alese exactly. That's what it's about, Papa. It's about he can progress. He's playing first team football now in a big club who, with a good season behind him, could be in the Premier League year after. If they're good enough, they'll get the chance. Indeed, haven't a bunch of teams dissolved their under-23s? I think so, but it's difficult. But to be fair, he's signing young players again, 23 downs. Yeah, that's what I mean. He does sign and I think. And he's signing players like, we signed lad Kelly, haven't we, from Northern Ireland. We signed a couple of Marshall last year as well. He's banging them in for the under-18s. And so there is a progression. But yeah, it's just... And there'll be loads of it. Moyes, he knows what he's doing. As I said, I don't think... I think if it means that, that frees up a spot for someone else to progress... maybe he doesn't, and he needs to move to get some first team football. He ain't getting it at West Ham. Any truth is being renamed Lidl. 50p in a curly whirly would buy any of them. Don't think so, Hammer. Anyway, guys, I've got to go. As I said, keep an eye out for the channel. All weekend we'll have some content coming out as always. We'll have Harry doing a great show about striker options. Very poignant at the moment. As I said, with news of this image being drafted around the internet at the moment in terms of Twitter, in terms of Broja, and also we'll be having Hammers in Hot Water talking about Manny Gates on Sunday. So just with your bacon sandwich on a Sunday. What's good? I told you Anton will be upset. Absolutely upset. In Moyes we trust indeed. And that's it, guys. So as I said, what a show. We started off talking. We was going to do a nice little show about West Ham. Who we were going to put in our 11. Then Broja gets injured. And then halfway through it, Alese gets sold to Sunderland. Then we talk about that. I would recommend, guys, if you go me and Anton did a whole show a couple of weeks ago. Actually, I'm going to put that in the chat in case anyone wants to watch it. what was it called? That's it. I'm going to put this in. I'm going to put this in the chat. Let me just put this in. This was a show me and Anton did a couple of weeks ago about the youth team players. We've got Tony Carr on there, Pat Holland, all those types of things, all about West Ham youth team setup and talking about that. So check that out. It's really, really good. Appreciate everyone's kind messages. If you're new around here, give it a like, give it a comment, give it a share, give it a subscribe. Become a channel member. We only have a chance to do our channel member draw. We'll do it on Monday. We'll do our draw on Monday because I've got this some work. And until next time, take care and stay safe. Wash those hands. Please stay hydrated. It's going to be an absolute. It's going to hit almost 40 degrees on Sunday, on Monday in Hornchurch. So make sure you stay hydrated. And I'll see you at 5 o'clock tonight talking about left backs. Ta-ta for now.
It's like a family tree, part of you and part of me. And if we should separate,